But I thought I should come on first and just kind of talk about the topic. That way I can shorten these readings a little bit. Um, because I do feel like that my readings be like, sometimes the readings be like super, super, super long. So I wanted to at least come on and talk about what I was gathering, what the reading is going to be about, the message behind it. And then when I come back to do the reading for you all, I don't have to like spend so much time like talking and y'all know how I do it. I want it to be more just based on the reading itself. So just to be fair, this next reading that's coming through is for a collective. I want to say, can I call them young? It's still like a young energy. So I'm going to say couples in their 30s, maybe. Because to me, that's young, okay? Whoa. You heard me? To me, that's young. So it's about couples in their 30s, okay? Whoever this storyline is for, that there's been some kind of a breakup and separation. Very similar to another reading I did, but it hasn't ended in tragedy. It's just that in this case, there's been like a separation and a breakup, okay? So in this storyline, someone came to some truth and clarity about their current situation. So whether this was common law, marriage, living situation, someone came to some truth and clarity that they felt like it wasn't going to go anywhere anymore. But it looked like this particular couple or these collectives of couples had been together a long time. Like, from what I was picking up, it seemed like they've been together like long. Like they may have children together. They could have been together like 4+ years. Okay. And so there's a level of disappointment about that. Now, the masculine in this energy said something, and it had left the feminine in the situation feeling some kind of way. So I thought it would be fair for me to come and talk about this, because I'm like, okay, just boom, bitch, true to life. Let's just keep it on a regular. All right. Okay, so here it go. Want to hear it? Here it go. No, just kidding. Um, Check. Oh, Bloomby has been on every side of situations, whether you all know this or not. So I can understand and relate to all this various crazy shit and drama and bullshit, okay? But with age and maturity and healing on my own personal journey, I have learned how to be able to pull back and look at situations in a more balanced way. When we're in relationships, okay, I want to say this. When we're in relationships, you guys, when there's some kind of hurt and pain and betrayal, the main culprit in these situations are the two that are in it. I need to say that. I'm not saying that people don't do shiesty, shady shit outside of it. I'm aware of that. In some cases, things aren't quite as it seems. So at the end of the day, if there was a betrayal, if there's some type of heartache or someone was entertaining other options and they whoa-de-whoa, bitch, and then they breathed it in your face, bitch. Like when people do that, the issue, the betrayal is the people in the actual connection. Why am I saying this? Because the people in the connection are the ones who have made the commitments to one another on whatever level this means, okay? And there's no one truly outside of that that could force anything to be different. There has to be a level of invitation. Yep. Case in point, you guys hear me tell the story all the time. Y'all hear me share stories about my own journey and situations where there was foul play. There was family members doing shit, interfering, saying shit, wooty woo bitch, like sneaky shit, bitch. Like, y'all heard me tell the story, right? But guess what? They wouldn't have been successful had it not been an invitation to begin with. The only reason why they were ever successful at the things they did was because the person and or folks at those times that I was in connection with opted to be dishonorable in some way. So it still goes back to that person, and it still goes back to me, right? Because no one can make you. Everyone gets their perspective back, karma. Okay, if people had hidden dishonor, ill will, and ill intentions, eventually everyone is going to get their just desserts. I promise. I can guarantee this. Guarantee. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow, but it's a certainty. But I also want to say, just to be fair, y'all know me, I like to play Switzerland. I like to play devil's advocate because not everyone had dishonor. Hard to swallow, isn't it? I tell y'all this all the time. It's all about intentions, frequency, and motivation. There are some people who, yes, they get their jollies off of interfering in people's lives. They go about purposefully, willfully, intentionally doing shit, getting their high off of, I want to try to steal somebody from somebody, or I want to hurt this person, so I'm going to fuck them. Or, yes, there are people who operate like that, but not everybody. So this is why it serves us to do this, as to not get ourselves in some trouble. It serves us to realize that, I call it grown-up food, at the end of the day. If we were in marriages, commitments, relationships, whatever we call it, common law, and there was betrayal, and we find out about betrayal, and or a person comes to us after 1,000 years of being with us and all of a sudden tell us they don't want to be with us no more, right? That they are not happy and it's not going to work and they want to go somewhere else to Sally Sue whoever, or John Joe whoever, right? What do? It's life, yo. The best that we can do, work it out within ourselves the best we can. Y'all hear me make jokes about this. Go get a bad haircut. Go watch some sappy movie, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Get a makeover, bitch. Like, all the shit we do. Go to counseling. You know what I'm saying? Gain some kind of hobbies. Go within and look at, why do we feel like our world starts and ends with any now one motherfucker on earth? Dealing with those things so that we can heal through it and realize that, yes, I can build again. Yes, the fuck. Yes, I can. God damn it. Yes, the fuck. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it's going to be sentient, that you're not going to cry and, all of these processes. But if we're still here, then it means our world does not start, end, or begin with now one motherfucker. And yes, I've been in long-term relationships. I've been married. I've been in deep commitments. I have a son. So yeah, I can speak on the matter. I know what that's like. I've been cheated on. I've been lied to. I've been played. I've been devalued. I've had people not see my value, chasing the shiny things constantly only to get their ass whooped later. But I've had that. Okay, it's life. We're not going to escape these situations entirely. But what we can do is minimize, I call it unnecessary karmic retributions. Because we're responsible for us. The people who do me dirty, they're going to deal with that, right? But I'm responsible for how I choose to go on and react. So if I try to take the law into my own hands, I may end up being responsible for that. Okay? If I try to, you see where I'm going? Because those are my actions. Those are my choices. If I call myself seeking any type of vengeance, what do I mean by that? Looking for ways to infiltrate into these individuals' worlds that have gone on because I feel some kind of way. I'll have to deal with that too. So the best thing I can do is just honor how I feel about it. Cry my tears, yell my yells, scream my screams, go paint some bitch, color bitch, like whatever I gotta do. Go exercise, right? Pour more love into myself, self-care, self-love. Pour more love into my sons, all that good old shit, or my creations, businesses, whatever. That's the best I can do. And then learn, gain wisdom. Sit back and look at my part in situations. Sit back and look at, red flags that perhaps I just did not fucking want to see. And made excuses for. Because when we're honest, when we come out of the fog, of the pain, we start to see that we had a good 12 indications that perhaps this wasn't going to go well, that this wasn't going to work, that there was something not gelling anymore. Do people outgrow each other? I believe that absolutely. I do. I feel like this is why we need to learn how to hold loosely to situations as best we can, because it happens. I equally believe that there is always a more integral way of handling things, but shit just don't always happen that way either. Somebody's usually still always get hurt at the end of the day. No matter how much of integrity we may try to hold in bringing things to an end. We hear people talk about conscious separations or conscious, I forget what the term is called. Gwyneth Paltrow and somebody bitch did it bitch. And other motherfuckers do it, okay? But that's rarely successful. I'm telling you, it's like maybe this works 5% of the time, because this requires that the individuals both have a level of consciousness, awakening, development for this to even work. Conscious breakup, so that it can work in a healthy way. And this is rare. We rarely find this. So all we can do at the end of the day is bring it back. Please don't use children. Okay, I want to advocate for that strongly, because I have a certain sore spot in my heart about, because they don't have nothing to do with none of that. They don't have nothing to do with none of that. Their parents' dysfunctions. Okay, they don't. Don't use them as pawns. Don't use them as control tactics and all that stuff. It's just not healthy. And it's wrong on every level. And guess what? Y'all hear me talk about this. Guess what? Guess who's going to get some kind of retribution for that eventually? Be as fair as you can. Some may say, well, but it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. What if it's not fair? What about that, Bloomy? What if it's not fair? What if it's not fair that after investing 10 years of my life, somebody wants to leave? Is it fair to stay in something that someone doesn't want to be in? That's the real question. Is it fair to put yourself in something for more years just because you're used to having it, but you're not truly happy, or they are not truly happy, just for the comfortability and the familiarity and the false sense of security of something that's been happening over and over again for 10 years? It may not be fair. But when has anything on earth ever really seemed truly 100% fair? It's not fair that people get human trafficked. It's not fair that people get sacrificed like they're cattle. It's not fair. Control freaks try to manipulate situations because they can't handle people moving on from them, whether this is in business, real estate, personal, professional. That's not fair either, is it? It's not fair. Children that get abused, misused, and put in the middle of their parents' bullshit. That's not fair either. It's not fair. People are fraudulent, right? Professional con artists stealing people's shit. Look, I'm just keeping it real. Is that fair? Is it fair? People who playing God complexes, deciding that somebody don't deserve what someone else left to them. There's not... It's life. And everyone will get their just desserts in time. But it is futile to try to force things. If I haven't learned anything else, oh, Bloomy Bloom got a whole lot of knots over her lifespan for that. Trying to make something work that's just not going to work. We should not have to, and I'm saying this with truly love in my heart, honestly. I'm interested to see what this reading is going to look like. We shouldn't have to beg people to be with us, collective. You shouldn't have to threaten a person. You shouldn't have to beg a person. You shouldn't have to try to attempt to get rid of the so-called competition just to have somebody to be with you. The mere fact of us feeling like we have to do any of those things is a clear indicator of something that we need to look at. We cannot make people love us. You guys get this yet? You can't. Now, I am aware of people that have been successful at bullying people. I know a whole lot of them type of people. I know about people who are sugar mamas and sugar daddies and use that to, try to tie down motherfuckers. But hear me good. We can't make someone. Spells go a wire. I don't even recommend it. It kind of bothers me why people go that far for shit. It kind of just makes me like, ugh. That's a whole nother video. Because you shouldn't have to do that. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to reduce ourselves to that low of a degree to where we feel somewhere up in our peripherals, up in our get up, we feel that we cannot, you know what I'm saying, get or manifest love in our lives without doing some weird nigga bitch shit. The mere thought of, to me, it's in the pretext by itself. The mere thought. I understand that we've all been young and we've all seen shit when we were younger. I'm not talking about us being children and teeny boppers and doing little silly dumb shit, bitch. But over time, as we mature and grow up in life, the mere thought that that's something that you have to do. Do you want someone that wants you because they want you or because you made them to? Because you threatened them. You bullied them. Or because you bought all of the cool things that they want you to buy so that they won't go nowhere. You shouldn't have to worry about those things, souls. Life is, man. You shouldn't have to be sitting in a connection with somebody and you constantly worrying. Come on, y'all talk to me now. And you constantly worrying about who they looking at today. Or you feel like you got to alter your body constantly just to keep up because that's the name of the game in 2022. That ain't no way of living. And we're far more valuable than that if we believe it. We're more valuable than how much hair we're growing out of our scalp. We're more valuable than, you know what I'm saying, the dimensions of our figure. We're more valuable than our complexion. We're more valuable than how many toys we got, bitch. You know, the house and the car, bitch. Like, we're more valuable. This has been a long life lesson for me. This is why I can talk like that. If you keep yourself in that energy, you're going to be in that rat race, that shit show hamster wheel. And as long as we live like that, we'll always have this constant wonder. Because when the next person, somebody that's got one more car than you, one more dollar than you, one more better house than you, a better figure than you, bitch, a better bone, bitch. Because it's going, guess what? Guess what? This goes for men and women alike. It's going to always be somebody that's got something more than you. There's going to always be that. That's never going to change. There's going to always be somebody that's so-called according to societal standards that look better than you, that got more shit. So what you gonna do? What we gonna do, collective? What we gonna do? We gonna try to chase all of the potential competition? Is that what we gonna do? It'll be an endless, tireless job. Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna chase the potential competition? Anybody we feel threatened by? The so-called get rid of them. Meanwhile, we're ruining our own lives in the process. It's not worth it. People think if you can kill off. I know people that actually have that in their head. Like, it's illness, no doubt, but I am aware. There are individuals who actually, y'all watch TV, that got it in the brains areas, okay? That if they can literally unaliven, that they'll finally be the winner. That's a sad way to live. All I'm trying to tell y'all is, this may be pertaining to you or someone that you're thinking of. I'm sorry for every last one of you all's loss. I understand loss. I'm sorry. As one that is truly operating from divine feminine's energy, I will say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anything that has been misrepresentation. I'm sorry for mistakes and failures that any of us has made. But worse yet, I'm sorry. Even when you've done the best you can, I'm still sorry for just the life. This is Earth School, which comes with, it's the cycles here. The only thing guaranteed is that we're here and then we're gone. The one constant truly is change. That's all pertaining to this earth school. But I will encourage you to please heal. And work on love of self and self-value and self-worth in the healthier ways. And realizing that you can always rebuild and recover your life. And if you're a decent person, none of us is perfect, right? If you're a decent person and you're doing the best you can to change and grow, no matter what your failings and mistakes have been, then I want to tell you, you deserve it, man or woman. But don't screw your life up. Don't make it harder than it has to be.